Over the last 10 years, in the Benthic Ecology Lab at the Smithsonian Marine Station, we have sampled 4 times a year at 15 sites. In those samples, we've collected approximately 500,000 individuals. It's been a lot of work, but it's to some extent a labor of love. And there are about 800 taxa that are represented because some things you aren't able to identify to a species level. But what's really interesting about that is about 41% of that 500,000 organisms is 7 species make up the majority of what we're finding. We are starting to look at how the freshwater outflows can really affect the river. We're not seeing a lot of patterns in diversity or abundance, but we do seem to see a decrease in species richness with large outflow events. These outflow events are causing species that are very particular about where they live to die off or leave an area, and the species that are super hardy are able to take advantage of that open space. And what we're seeing is that they don't live in the muck very well. You get a lot more diversity in the sandy sediments. And even if we can't turn off the flow from Lake O, if we can regulate it in a way that the salinity can kind of homogenize, so it's like a normal estuary where it starts fairly fresh and then slowly gets salty as you move to the inlet, then the estuary will adapt. It will become more stable. It's these major crazy pulses of freshwater that seem to be the cause of our big problems. So if we can find a way to remove some of that muck and help with the sediment types, but also just allow the salinity to normalize into a pattern that the estuary can deal with, then our river's really not in as bad a shape as people maybe think that it is. These animals are really cool. People don't think about them because they live in the sediments and you don't want to consider them, and they're worms and it's weird, but they're so beautiful that there are things that we don't see that are an important part of the ecosystem.